We good? Hey guys, welcome to Thursday Night Live at the Gun Shop. Um, Good to be back with you guys again. We just had to avert a major catastrophe. It was getting really close to airtime, like 90 seconds, and I ran out of coffee. So we had to get this cup of coffee made really fast. So thank you, Keurig. You know, um,
Oh my goodness.
that's a wonderful invention.
It is.
So if you guys will give me just a quick second, Bunker Blend, one of our one of our coffees, probably the least talked about of our coffees. Um, but this is our coffee for tonight. This is what I'm drinking for the show. Um, this stuff is like really good bourbon. It's so smooth you don't realize it even went down. It's amazing. So anyway, last week we had our good friend Jason Sharp with us, and from Right to Bear, and we talked about that and wrapped up the introductory series to carrying concealed, and self protection. So tonight we're going to have a few beginnings. Um, Tonight we're filming with multiple devices and streaming on one. Um, we're going to start a new series. I don't know how long this was going to go, 2 or 3 weeks. Um, but tonight we're doing an introduction to silencers. So we start that new series. Also, tonight marks the first time that we are filming to kick off our YouTube channel and our Rumble channel. So Stephanie will be posting links to those. Guys, please support us there. Just go subscribe, like, comment, do something. Help us
Share.
share, help us get into the algorithm so we can get the information out to as many people um, as possible. There's a lot of really bad information on the internet. There's a lot of really dangerous stuff out there, and we really started this one to help our customers. Um, Two, people had been kind of asking for it. Um, and I
Suppressors
really,
have
you know,
suppressors have been one of our most
well,
asked
I'm talking
about.
about just doing this program in general.
Yeah.
And yes, suppressors has been one of the most requested. But after I was introduced to YouTube gun tubers,
By the way, Dusty Vickers is also he shared.
he is wonderful about that.
Yes, he is.
Um, After we were introduced to some, then don't get me wrong, there's some really good guys out there. There's some really good guys out there, and gals.
Oh yeah.
Um, but unfortunately, I think for every really good one, there's 12 really bad ones. And as they were showing it to me, I was like, people are actually saying this in public, and folks are tuning in, listening to it, and believing it. And it scared the bejesus out of me. You remember that night?
I do. It was scary.
The stuff I was hearing, the stuff I was seeing, it was like, I was hoping it was a spoof, hoping it
It
was
was
a
not.
joke,
No. Thank you, John.
but it wasn't. So we started as people asked for it. I was hesitant to get into it. Well, frankly, it requires a lot on our part. Thursdays make a long day for me. We're here early. A lot of times it's 9:30 before we get home and get in the house, and then take care of the critters and try to grab some supper, and
But you know what? It's worth it.
it is worth it. That's not moaning. It's just, what was it going to take for us to make the commitment to it? And once I saw the gun tubers and some of the stuff that was out there, like I said, I'm not talking about everybody. There's some really good people out there. Some really good people. There's some guys that do stuff for entertainment purposes, that they are clear about what they're doing is for entertainment purposes.
Oh, yeah.
That I enjoy. But unfortunately, for every one of them, it seems like there's a dozen. So we wanted to counter bad information with good information. You'll notice we don't do a lot of advertising for the shop during the broadcast. That's kind of me, because I want it to be clear to people we're trying to do this as a service and help people. But with that said, we're wanting to expand that and go to YouTube and Rumble. And to get into those platforms, we're going to need you guys to help.
Hey, Eric.
What's up, dude? We're going to need y'all's help. And I can tell you, we will probably make some content that will just be for Rumble. We'll post links over on our, is it X?
Yep.
Yeah, X page. We'll post links here on Facebook. YouTube and Facebook will be very, very similar.
Scholar Sage said WHMC has always been good to me. I'll always tell people about that. And thank you so much, Scholar. We appreciate that. You have no idea.
That's
And hey, Georgie.
I'm gonna share this, then we're gonna get into sponsors. I tell the guys this and the gals. Now we have gals, not just one,
Yes.
that work with us, and it's wonderful. But I tell them this all the time. Well, often anyway.
Sorry.
People come in this store, they leave with something. Whether it's a product, whether it's being pissed off, or whether it's being in a better mood, in a better state of mind, and happier than they were when they come in. They're leaving with something. That's why some of you guys see the silliness in here and that. We take our job seriously.
Oh, yeah.
But the Bible says laughter does the heart good. So we're trying to fight heart disease and help our customers that way. So
Zach Moore said they ain't good to me at all. They always convince me to spend money.
Zach, part of the problem with America today is people don't do their jobs well. My people do. That's why you spend money.
And Eric says I always leave with something. LOL.
So let's get into it. Introduction to silencers. First, what is the proper name for a sound reduction device on a firearm? There's not. You can call it a suppressor. You can call it a silencer.
You can call it a can.
You can call it a can. You can call it a muffler. There's, regardless of the pages and pages and the hours and hours spent on the internet and other places where people argue in this. If you want to know the federal government's proper name for it is silencer.
No, Zach Moore. We cannot. We're not going to call it that.
Maxim, who developed it, called it a silencer. In more recent times, people have argued it doesn't silence the gun, it just suppresses the sound, so it's a suppressor. Yes, it is. We refer to them as cans. I was talking to a guy from New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand. And they called them mufflers. It don't matter. That's an argument that people have just because they don't have anything else better to do. So if you want to call it a silencer, call it a silencer. If you want to call it a suppressor, call it a suppressor. If you want to call it a can, call it a can. And don't get so hung up on that stuff.
Who cares?
You know, it's secondary. It doesn't matter. But if you if you want to use the legal term for it, it's actually silencer. So what is a silencer, suppressor, can, or muffler? It's a device that attaches to your firearm to reduce or muffle the sound. Okay? Can they see what's laying here on the table?
They can see about over to the fourth one. They can't see from here over.
Okay, here's a whole bunch.
Yes.
Dr. Pepper can't go far. I gotta have it in my coffee. Okay, here's a whole bunch of silencers, suppressors, cans, whatever you want to call them. They come in all shapes, forms, and fashions. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Somebody said something.
No.
Okay.
No.
There's a few truths that are gonna. There's a few things that are gonna hold true regardless. Okay. The volume of gas that you can trap is what determines how quiet the can will be. Give you an example. You see this little fella? This is a great little can. It's a. This one happens to be
Lahar.
Lahar from Arrow. It's their little shorty. This is going to work wonderfully on something like a 300 blackout. If you're shooting 300 blackout subsonic, this little can is going to work great. But if we go get a full 30 caliber rifle and we pick up this, this is a rugged Alaskan TI, the titanium can, and you guys, there's no way I can express how light this thing actually is, but let's get back to it. This is going to be quieter than this because this traps more gas. So, in this case, size matters. Okay?
Harry Simpson says he loves his Hybrid 46M and he's glad he got it from us.
And we are too. We ain't seen Harry in a while. Harry, I hope you're doing well. And I hope everything's going well. But, so, yes, in the world of silencers, cans, suppressors, whatever we want to call them, size matters. Up to a point. I mean, everything has a point of diminishing returns, guys. So, so like I said, you see a whole different variety here in front of me. From the little Arrow Lahar.
John, lastly, we'll get to that in just a little bit.
To this can is just amazing. I've got on my rifle over here that's sitting off camera. I've got I got Silencer Co.'s new scythe.
Yes.
30 caliber can. That weighs 6.2 ounces. Yeah, there it is. This is lighter.
It is. That thing weighs nothing.
Okay. Now, will my scythe probably be a little quieter? Yeah, probably. It's a little bigger around, I think. Might have a little more volume. I don't know if it's going to make enough difference that I could hear. But these things weigh nothing. But volume matters. Kind of lost my train of thought there.
Adam, I'll get to you after the broadcast. And Zach said any budget mufflers are all 1K and up still.
No. They're not 1K and up. Matter of fact, this can is a Silencer Co. 46 DTM. Is this the original?
That's the DTM.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about prices.
Okay.
No, that's no.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Okay. I will say this. This can's under $600. I can't say that.
I wouldn't.
Okay. This can is less than 300 Dr. Peppers cost. If you figure Dr. Pepper's at $2 a piece. We could talk about how much Dr. Pepper cost.
Zach said he needs more like the old Rebel can price or whatever it was when Trump got elected. Doll hairs, Tom.
Man, the old Rebel company, I wish they could have made it. I've got one of those left for myself. And I swear, if I was going to start making cans, that's exactly the can I would make. They're cheap. They were made fairly cheap. They weren't going to last forever, especially aluminum on aluminum with the threads. But
Mr. Wright, who's never wrong, has joined us too.
They worked really, really well. But anyway, these are two 46 caliber cans. One from Dead Air, one from Silencer Co. Both of these are really good cans. Capture lots of volume. This is what Harry was talking about, except he got the hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit different, not much. But not really want to do can advertisements tonight. We want to talk about how they work. Basically, inside these cans, this one's easy to show because it uses what's called a monobaffle.
That one is yours.
That one is mine. Damn, go back there and knock that out.
I'm gonna knock it out. What are you?
But they have a series of baffles inside them. And I did clean that can last time. They have a series of baffles inside, like so. Or you can have a monobaffle. This is a series of baffles. The other one over there's got a monobaffle, which is one long piece.
What am I supposed to use to get it out?
Just take a punch, get on the side of it, hit it with a hammer. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry.
I'll just be embarrassed in front of the whole world. And I did clean that can, or I thought I did, unless somebody's got it out and used it. But anyway, the bullet passes through. The gas is trapped. It swirls and moves around the baffles, which cools the gas in the can. Less gas escapes, so there's less sound. That's a very, very, very oversimplified explanation, so don't go beating me up all over the internet. That is the traditional way that you suppressed. This is a new product. It was unveiled at SHOT Show. It comes from our friends over at Anstad Arms. Great people, they really are. Really enjoyed meeting the owner and founder. He's a really, really nice guy. I have talked with some of his people at many shows. I've used their products. A lot of y'all may know we use their products to build our SRO guns for different law enforcement agencies. So, great company. But this is a baffleless design. So I don't know if you can see through there, but it's no baffles.
Uh,
Um, okay.
and let's show these guys down here because it's a different camera. Okay.
So you can see the barrel actually has holes drilled in it. And they took it a step further. They've threaded each one of these holes and sent some plugs so you can tune this thing for the velocity and sound that you want. Uh, really, really, really unique design. Um, we do have these in stock now. Yeah, both the barrels, the barrel unit like you see in my hand, as well as we have their Vanish uh, finished rifle. This is a little SBR. Um, can't wait to get out and run this thing. So basically, silent. This is a monobaffle. You see what I mean? It's all one piece. So the bullet's passing through here. Gas is trapped, dispersed around the tube, and it quietens it down. Silencers, suppressors, whatever, can quieten most anything down at the level of the shooter. In other words, here in front of us, if we're on a rifle, at the shooter. What's going to happen downrange does not depend on the can. It depends on the speed of the bullet. When an object breaks the sound barrier, you're going to have a supersonic crack. The silencer can't fix that. That's why you hear a lot of people talk about subsonic and supersonic in ammo. If they want to get really, 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 really quiet, get it as quiet as they can, they'll go subsonic. If we're hunting or whatever, and we're trying to protect our ears, sitting in the deer stand or in a shooting house or whatever, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to protect our hearing. So a can that cuts that noise down at the rifle or the pistol does its job. It protects our hearing. We're not trying to get to sound like a mouse fart. So that's kind of real quick. They trap gas, cool it down, and don't let that hot gas hit the air to cut the sound. The more gas they trap, the quieter it gets. Not real complicated. It's just like your car muffler works. The next thing I kind of want to talk about, and I'll take questions on any of this. You guys feel free to put questions in. Is I want to address some of the myths that come along with silencers or suppressors or whatever we want to call them. There's all kinds of misinformation out there about them. One is silencers are illegal to own. No, they're not. There are certain states that have state laws preventing their subjects, not citizens, from owning a silencer, suppressor, can, whatever. Those places like Illinois, California, I think Maryland, maybe. There's maybe a dozen. I think it's 12? 38 states allow them, 37 states, 12 or 13 don't, something like that. Um, so we're going to talk about the immediate area. And we're talk about here. We're going to talk about Tennessee. Tennessee really doesn't have a state regulation on them. We abide by what the feds say, and not NFA Act of 1934, old annotated law that should be got rid of. But to own a can, it's a $200 tax stamp one time.
And that
You
sucks.
and you have to buy a tax stamp for every item that's NFA or National Firearms Act. So you can't buy one tax stamp and have 10 suppressors. Every suppressor has to have its own tax stamp. Every short-barreled rifle has to have its own tax stamp. Every short-barrel shotgun, every machine gun, whatever. Um, yeah, that one's got to have two stamps. Um, but yes, there is paperwork involved. We're going to talk about how to purchase one in a little bit. Let's just for right now. Let's talk about unless you're in one of those handful of states, 12 or 13. I'm sorry, I can't remember right now exactly which it is. Silencers are legal to own. Then they talk about on TV and different places, they talk about criminals using silencers. Guys, that's on the movies. It's on the movies. Go talk to law enforcement agents. Go talk to investigators. Go talk to people that work real law enforcement. And I promise you, most investigators have never, ever, ever, ever worked a crime where a silencer was used. It's just TV garbage. And that TV garbage is the only reason here in America that we're still paying $200 tax stamps and waiting for the ATF to approve us to have a silencer. When most countries, you can go in and buy one right off the shelf, in some cases at the grocery store.
Yep.
Just stupid. But let's not get off on that. So criminal use.
They're not going to go through the trouble.
Well, not only that, but you take that and screw it onto something. It gets a little hard to hide.
Yeah.
You know, gangbanger ain't screwing that on his pistol and shoving it down in his britches.
No, he's not.
I wish they'd shoot it about 100 times and try it. Oops. Sorry. Anyway, another thing. Silencers or suppressors destroy accuracy. No. Just no. In fact, we find out in most cases groups tend to tighten up when they're suppressed. Shooting tends to improve. And I know some people argue, oh, it's a mechanical effect of some way that the silencer affects the harmonics of the barrel and this, that, and the other. And maybe. It's anything that you do to the barrel is going to affect the harmonics. So, okay. I tend to believe that while there may be some mechanical, or using mechanical for lack of a better word, advantage to putting the can on, I tend to believe it makes us better shooters. Because we do get some recoil reduction on the rifle. But on the other hand, think about this. When we shoot a firearm, everything that we do is unnatural. Okay? Our whole life we're taught we don't want somebody hitting us. If something's hitting us, we want to get away from it. Well, when we fire, whether it's a handgun or shoulder fired rifle, there's this thing called recoil. We want to get away from that, right? But as a shooter, we have to embrace it. We have to get into it. We have to control it. We have to stay with the firearm, stay on the rifle. Our hands, wonderful inventions, especially the opposable thumb. When you guys say your prayers tonight, make sure and thank our Maker for giving us opposable thumbs.
They make a lot of things possible.
Make a lot of things possible. The but our hand, when it's naturally working, if one finger tightens, the whole hand wants to tighten. The fingers follow each other. Okay, just natural inclination. So when we're sitting there, we got our hand wrapped around the rifle or the handgun, and we put our finger on the trigger, and we're squeezing. These fingers want to squeeze, but we have to tell them not to. We have to train it to do something against its nature. So that's two things. We're getting hit, and we're having to stay through it, ride through it, stay steady, ride it out. Our hand has to do something that it's not designed to do. And the other thing is, nobody wants a big boom right in their face. I don't. So when we start eliminating those things, if a suppressor kind of helps with recoil, well, that's less that we're getting hit. And if it takes that big boom and blast and fireball out of our face, that's a really, really big improvement for us as a shooter. So we're able to stay on the rifle better. We stay with the pistol better. And we tend to start now being able to really get into good habits because there's less unnatural things going on around us. And sometimes, guys, it's just hard. You get these big old Mickey Mouse ear things on, and you got the right rifle, and you're trying to get your cheek welded to the rifle, and this damn thing's right in your way. And you just want to take them off and sling them, but as soon as you do, you're not going to hear for 2 weeks. Hey, that fixes it. So, one of the myths that destroys accuracy. No, cans do not destroy accuracy. If anything, they enhance it. Now, let's say this. It may move if your rifle's already zeroed in. It may shift the point of impact to where you have to zero it back with the can on. It may not. But a shift in impact point on a pre-zeroed rifle is not that uncommon. Because, again, we've changed the harmonics of the barrel. We've changed characteristics of the rifle. Sometimes we've changed the characteristics of the ammunition. Well, there's times that you can chronograph, and most people watching this know what a chronograph is, and find out that when the bullet exits the gun with the silencer on it versus a naked barrel, that bullet may be moving just a little faster coming out of the silencer. Because that recycled gas in there is still pushing. Right? It's looking for an escape. It's eventually going out that hole.
That's correct.
So it's not uncommon to actually see a round speed up coming out of the suppressor. So having that impact shift, that can be normal, but it's normally not a big deal. You do a quick re-zero. You're normally not. I have seen some big shifts. I'm not going to lie, but normally you don't see that big a shift. So that's with accuracy. Now let's talk about the big one, sound. They're not going to sound like they do on TV. They're just not. Um, you can get things really quiet, and there's certain, you can take a longer barrel 22, put a can on it, shoot a 22 short subsonic or something in it, and yeah, that might get TV quiet. Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe. Um, but as a general rule, TV quiet is a hoax. You're going to cut the sound down. You're going to get it where it's safe at your ears. Um,
Where it matters.
you know, you're not going to disturb your neighbors. If you've ever been on a line and and you're shooting on a line where everybody's shooting cans versus at a range where you got, unsuppressed guns, and this guy's shooting a 30-06 and this guy's shooting a 338 Lapua and this guy's shooting whatever 6.5 Creedmoor or whatever. Everything's loud and blasted and everything, and it's hard to concentrate. It's hard to shoot. Well, this will solve that, but they're not going to get TV quiet.
It's just unrealistic.
But they will make your life so much easier, so much better, and you can get them giggle quiet. And by that I mean every time you shoot it, you giggle. Um, the little 22 can I had here a while ago, or this one here. You put that on a good 22 and you go out and shoot it. I promise you're going to giggle when you shoot it because it's just fun. Sounds like a popcorn maker. Um, just a blast. So, sound, we covered that. Now, we're going to talk about the big one. We get a lot of questions on. I bet this is what you've been telling people I'll get to. How to purchase.
Yes.
How to purchase.
The process.
Okay.
You know what, Zach? That might look good on a glitter sig.
It would.
I need to go get that other glitter sig and bring it out. We sold it yesterday.
So, let me say this: how to purchase. As we're going through this, I want you to understand. This is one of the reasons WHMC should be your dealer.
What?
Yes, I'm shameless. Yes, I'm throwing a commercial in tonight.
That's okay.
Through our partnership with Silencer Shop and through hiring Stephanie and her willingness to take on different jobs and willingness to learn, we have created a process here in the store of I don't know. I had 3 or 4 different people tell me a day that drive past other dealers in excess of an hour to get here to buy cans because of the level of services Stephanie provides. She will make the purchase process extremely easy. Literally, all you have to do is just follow what she tells you. She's going to take care of it for you as much as she can. There's things you do have to do for yourself. But how do you purchase? You can still do paper. You can still get a paper Form 4, fill out 4 of them. Yes, you have to do 4. And go somewhere and find some place to do your fingerprints and go get passport photos and $200 money order or certified check, and hope you get all that stuff filled out to ATS specifications.
And that the USPS doesn't
Don't
lose
it. And send one to the chief law enforcement officer of your area, and Yeah, mail it in and whatever. You can do that. Um, our process is much easier. The first time that you buy a suppressor, can, short barrel rifle, any NFA product, we're going to help, we're going to assist you in setting up two online accounts. One will be with Silencer Shop, one will be with the ATF at with their e-forms. As we finish setting up the Silencer Shop account, Stephanie's going to help you in how to purchase your tax stamp right then and there. Um, we're going to create your ATF account. We're going to make sure that you understand the importance of a couple of pieces of information on there. Um, then we're going to take a cell phone, log you into your um,
Silencer shop account.
Silencer Shop account. We're going to go back here and we're going to do the ATF required photo with the white background. Then we're going to come out here to the kiosk and we're going to electronically do your fingerprints. And when you leave, that's all done. The only thing left to do in a day or two is to certify. You can do that here, or if you're in front of a computer, it doesn't work on tablets or cell phones because the ATF's website's not mobile friendly
No.
at all. Um, as long as you're in front of an actual computer that can see your email, you can be on the phone and call in and we can certify you, or you can come in and we do it. And then it's just hurry up and wait. Then when it's pickup day, we will help you making sure you have everything that you need to put your gun and your silencer together. We'll walk you through the most cost-effective ways and then the most convenient ways,
Yes.
and they're not the same normally. Um, but present you with options. Then we will make sure that you thoroughly understand the law and what's required of you when you have your suppressor with you. We'll give you some best practices.
Um, Adam has a question. He says it's been a few years since he bought his last can. He has a trust already. Are you able to work with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. If you have an existing trust, all we would do is have you upload that trust and email it into Silencer Shop. Um, and I would wait to do that until after I had bought the can.
Mm-hmm.
Buy the can, then like do that later that day or the next day, so that you have a order number to put with that trust
Correct.
that you're sending it in. They will put that on file. It will stay with your account. Your account will be tied to that trust. Um, and from then on, you won't have to send it in again. Uh, yeah, it's pretty simple. And then, of course, we can do. There's all kinds of different ways to buy. You can do single shot trust. You can do NFA trust. You can do individual. Um, we can talk about the pros and cons of that with you. Um, but while the process sounds a little complicated and convoluted, we have it streamlined to the point that we can get the first time that you're doing it, yeah, it takes a minute. After that, it gets real simple. I mean, literally to the point, most time you can call in and go, hey, man, I want a 46 M. I want it in FDE. You got one? Yeah. All right. I'm going to ask you a question. What's your email address that you used at Silencer Shop? If you bought from me before, I'm probably going to look it up, but
Yeah.
it's easier if I ask you. You give it to me. I go in, I assign that can to you. You go online, buy your tax stamp. A couple of days, we'll certify it, and
You
we're
do
done.
have to purchase it. You do have to buy it.
Yeah, you got to pay for the can.
Yes.
I'm assuming that you're paying that,
Yeah.
that they know you got to pay for the can. Yeah. We're really nice people, and we'll give you a great deal on a can. But they're not free.
No.
You know, if anybody wants to know about how we price cans, I can actually say this because I'm not going to price anything. Go to our shop, go to our silencer shop store. You can get there through our website.
WHMCguns.com.
Okay? Go down to where it says silencer shop. Click on it. Our pricing will be the same as on the main page. Our anything that's on Silencer Shop's main page is mirrored on our page. We do the exact same pricing. I would ask that you go in through the website because, quite frankly, it saves us a little money. And it helps us if you go in through the website.
And it helps you because it already comes here assigned to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's real simple. So how to purchase it? You can
Come see me, the suppressor lady. That's what I get called, the suppressor lady.
there's multiple ways. I think probably the best way to purchase, at least what I'm told by our customers, mirror just echoing them, is to come here and see Steph. And she'll even make you smile.
I'll try.
And we can help you make the right choice on a can because so many people trying to choose a silencer, you get on the internet and you start running down rabbit holes. And there's some pretty deep ones. And the truth of it's about 99% of that is totally irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. So remember, tonight is our first episode. Everybody's with us tonight's with us for our first episodes going up on YouTube and Rumble. Stephanie will be posting those links. Guys, please help us out. We want to get good information out to people. So if you guys see those links, click on them, go over. Stay with us on Facebook. You know, let's make the firearms industry, the firearms world safer and more fun. And we can all do that working together. We can do more in 24. That's corny, ain't it?
You know what? I like corn.
Yeah. Well, corn on the cob ain't bad, especially with a lot of butter.
Popcorn isn't bad.
So, you know, tonight, first episode's going up on YouTube and Rumble. Guys, please support us. Please help us with that. Purchasing your can, like I said, multiple ways to do it. We've tried most, if not all of them. And
David Brasher said, "Great job. Thanks, y'all."
you know, David was one of the poor guys that got caught in the early days of it. When we were trying to get all this stuff worked out, I was sitting in the corner pulling my hair out by the handfuls.
Adam Bradford, when they start reading the threading and mounting options, that will get you confused. That's
Absolutely. And that's what we're here to help you cut through.
We've had some people ask about wait times.
Wait times are historically low at the moment. A lot of us are celebrating that, as we should, but I'll just say it straight out, it really sucks. Because you got the people that's been out there 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months, 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
That I think their stuff's just sitting there, and all they're doing is working on the new stuff that's coming through. I don't know what's up, but the people that's putting paperwork in right now, from 3 to 15, 16 days is what we're realist. That's what we're seeing. Pretty much every day we're seeing that. A couple of months maybe on a few, month on this one.
I got mine back in 15 days. That's
Um,
crazy.
we had one come back in 3 days, one come back in 5 days. Um, wait times right now for the folks that are putting in right now are historically low.
Yes.
For the rest of you guys,
I wish I had a better answer for them.
you know, it freaking sucks. But I'll tell you what you do. Get on the phone, call Marsha Blackburn's office. She's pro NFA.
Mm-hmm.
Or Bill, what's it? Bill Hag? Is it Haggerty? Is that how you say his last
I
name?
think so.
That's the senators from Tennessee. And see if you can get some help, because I know that there's been some talk about cutting funding to these people and other things if they don't get their wait times down. And maybe that's some of what's going on. I don't know. But,
But
you
our
know,
people that have been waiting over a year.
yeah, I mean, it sucks. And some of you guys, listen to me. Listen to me. If there's some of you guys out there that's been waiting for a long time, get the serial number to your can and call.
If you contact me, if you got it here, I can help you with that information.
Okay? We can't do that for you, but we can help you get the information together. Call. I've had 4 or 5 people do that. And their can was approved 6 months ago. They just never told anybody. Never sent a tax stamp out, never did anything. That's happened. More than once. It's happened several times, and not just here. This is across the country. I know of 5 or 6 instances just here. So if you're some of those guys that's been on that long wait, man, get the serial number. You can Google it. Comes up ATF.
I have the number.
NFA branch. It's 304 or something. Call. You got to know who you are and what the serial number to your product is, and just see. I mean, the worst they're going to tell you is it's in process. But if you're one of these people that have fallen through the cracks and they've approved it or something and never sent it out, then nothing's ever going to happen until somebody follows up. And unfortunately, that's our federal government. So, any questions on purchase, any questions on anything tonight? We're going to get more into how suppressors are made, what makes a good suppressor, what makes a bad suppressor. Why is this one $2,000 and this one $400? We're going to get into a lot of that next week. And between maybe that and we're going to talk about mounting options. We're just glazing the top of this stuff, guys. Just glazing the top of it. We're here for questions. We're here for comments. We're here to help. So, like I said, next week we'll be getting into kind of how they're made, why they're made that way. We've talked about that some tonight. And different mounting options. Things to look for when you're buying a can. Things not to get so hung up on. Most people, unfortunately, end up majoring on the minors and skipping the majors. I'm not going to tell anybody not to do research. Do your research. Look at the manufacturer's pages. You can look at reviews. But don't get caught up in some of these rabbit holes, guys. All it'll do is frustrate you and make you pull your hair out. And the truth is, when you get in a lot of these discussions and forums and this, that, and the other, about 80% of the people in there don't know what the hell they're talking about. The other 20 sitting back laughing at the 80. And then some guys are arguing, and you know what? They're right. That can's quieter than this can. By 2.3 decimals. You can't hear that. It's irrelevant. It's true, but it's irrelevant. Why are we arguing about that? Buy the one you like the most.
Yep.
Your ear's not going to know the difference. So we're going to get into a lot of that next week. Mounting options, good. What makes a good can? What makes a bad can? Why some manufacturers just deserve more of a look than others. Talk about common thread sizes, all that kind of stuff. So hope you guys tune in for that. I hope tonight's been helpful and giving you some ideas. You guys are welcome. Come by anytime. With the recent change in hours, we can now pretty much certify anytime we're open.
Yep.
Which is a major change. It had been where we could not certify on Wednesdays, and we had to cut it off at like 11 o'clock on Saturday, and that's no longer the case. Pretty much anytime we're open, we can certify.
And I'll walk you through the process, or Tom can walk you through the process of what certifying is.
Basically, when you certify, you come back in. Well, the way we do this, okay, we use Silencer Shop. So you do all your paperwork on the front end, and it goes to Silencer Shop's compliance department, which are people that are experts on NFA law. Some of them are former NFA examiners, that type of thing. They inspect all the paperwork, make sure it's properly done, and proof it for mistakes. Then they send it out for certification. You go back in, you go through, it goes through 2 or 3 pages. It'll transfer the $200 from your Silencer Shop account to the federal government to pay your tax stamp. You will answer the same questions as on the 4473 again. Then you will have your username and PIN that you will type into. That's your digital signature on the form.
They're having a little issue with sound, and that's because our microphones are dying. So
I'm sorry. Is this better?
thanks,
Is this
Noah.
better? I can talk louder. Is this better? So anyway, when it comes back up for certification, you type in username, PIN. Stephanie or I want to countersign with ours, and it goes to ATF. That's when your waiting actually starts. The nice thing about that little time between there while you're waiting to get it to compliance is that when we get the package going to ATF, it should be going in perfect, and we're not going to have a lot of mistakes, or we're not going to have misinformation. We shouldn't have problems. We should be able to go right through, which is what we're seeing. Versus the old days, it was not uncommon to end up having papers sent back a time or two. So that's a little step Silencer Shop puts in there that I like. Yeah, it takes a day or so normally, but it's worth it not to have a week or two later if there happens to be a mistake, or a month, or 6 months, or whatever it would take. But yeah, that's pretty much the process. Any other questions right quick? Okay, guys, remember, we appreciate you. You make what we do possible. It's you guys who, and y'all's dedication and your support of the store that allows us to eat dinner every night and eat breakfast every morning.
Thank you.
I ask you again, please, we're going to launch with this video on YouTube and Rumble. and Stephanie will post those links. We pray that, you guys, and maybe you'll encourage some others. We got to get, being new on those two platforms, we're going to need people to go in there and help us get it punched up. We may even, I don't know, we may do something to kind of help punch that up. We'll talk about that.
Can do lives over on Rumble, by the way.
Okay. Rumble gives us a little more freedom. We can actually talk a little more. So if we can get that Rumble following up, we can spend more time over there than we do.
Speak more freely over there.
With Fascist Book. Yeah, I said it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We hope you're enjoying the show. Let us know. Follow the links once Steph posts them. See if we would really appreciate you guys giving us a leg up, or that helping hand on YouTube and Rumble. And let's get folks educated properly. Let's make what we do safer. Let's get more people who learn how to think correctly and get good information out. That's the only way to combat bad information. The only way to stop lies with lots of truth. So help us drown them in it. Until next week, or maybe before. Y'all have a good night.